Hey, what's up guys, my name is Charlie. Today we're going to be doing some more requested reaction videos, and this video was requested by Hulk. So yeah, this video is called Worst Console Ever Made by Rerez. I believe we watched a Rerez video where it was the worst plug and play console ever made. Not to get confused with worst console ever made. I know it's all very confusing. But yeah, let's check out the video, shall we? Let's go. Shall be very good because I enjoyed the other Rerez video.
Now I'm going to assume a lot of you have heard of knockoff consoles before,
Oh,
because they're kind of a common thing that you see in malls and well, flea markets and places like that. More often than not, they're a controller, just standalone. The controller plugs up straight to your TV and claims to have hundreds and hundreds of games. And a lot of them exist that kind of look like old Nintendo graphics, just worse. And in some cases, the 100 games that they're including aren't actually games from the Nintendo or Sega Master System, but they're actually games that are just made up and bad, without any real concept of design or really anything that would make a game worthwhile. These products are designed to be sold in places really quick and for really cheap. Ladies and gentlemen, today you're going to be seeing the worst video game console I own, the Wireless 60.
The Wireless 60, okay, never seen it, but it's going to be pretty crazy. Whoa,
and I know a lot of you are probably thinking, well, what the hell's a Wireless 60? And that's a very good question. A Wireless 60 is pretty much a SNES on a chip. Now what that means is it actually has graphics that are comparable to the Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis, and it has it on a single chip. Where the Super Nintendo was a masterfully designed console that took years to develop, the Wireless 60 wasn't. It most likely was made in somebody's garage.
Or at least it feels that way. There isn't much info out there on this system, and from what I can tell, it was built in a factory. I know that there are variations of the system that exist that use the same games I'm about to review, but it would be almost impossible to know the exact number of how many are out there.
Right off the bat, you know the Wireless 60 isn't going to be that great. In fact, I'm pretty sure all of you are thinking, boy, these games have to suck more than anything in the world. And you'd be right. The games were designed very quickly, and without very much effort put into them. So all 60 games that are included in the console are pretty much I mean, you really would hope for something very unique and interesting to come out of this, but every game that they try and copy and emulate is just poorly done. Now, while all the games in the console, to my knowledge, are original games, the actual fundamental design of them are copied from games like Tetris and Bomberman, and even
Bomberman's amazing, in fact.
But none of these games are good, not even a bit. They're nowhere near as comparable to the original games that they're based on.
Quality over quantity.
So if you really want to try these games out, at your own risk. But to save you from that, what I'm going to do is play all 60 and review all 60 of them.
Damn.
Dear God.
Help you. Yeah, dear God help you. You're fucked. Thank God I just have to watch instead of play them. The 12 sports games. Oh, fucking hell, sports games. I fucking hate sports games.
The Wireless 60 claims to have 2 wireless controllers in the box, and it does, but they're nothing like the controllers you're used to with other consoles that are wireless. See, the Wii, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, they use technologies like Bluetooth, which are great because they're accurate and they're fast. But the Wireless 60 uses infrared technology. On the sides of the controller, and on the top,
is that a
and
claw
on the back.
machine in the background?
That infrared technology is very similar
machine.
to, well, remote controls for your TV.
If it's a popcorn machine or
While
a 3D
it does
printer.
work, it's hardly accurate. And more often than not, you're going to be missing connections. And whenever you need to do something in a game,
like a mini popcorn
and the game
machine
doesn't
or claw
accurately
machine.
respond to you at the same time you put in the command,
3D printer.
that can lead to frustrating games like this one.
Baseball. The first of 12 sports titles, which, by the way, are the only 12 games to use motion sensing technology built into the controller. While I say motion sensing, it's really nothing but shaking the controller and having it register as a button being pressed. None of these games actually sense the motion of your hand like the Nintendo Wii or PlayStation Move controllers. No, What it's doing here is giving you an on-screen prompt to shake your controller when it's appropriate. A big problem with the 12 sports games is that, well, they all want you to move the controller. So you better hope you're not moving the controller out of the sight of the IR sensor on the console, because if you do, it doesn't know if you're pushing any buttons or moving the damn thing. But I digress. Back to baseball. The game is plain, very few options, and doesn't serve up any real interesting variations on the game. Imagine a baseball game that can only interact with you by mindlessly swinging the controller. That's exactly what this is.
But really
the bar
bad
to the
graphics.
right shows you how much power you have, and when you land on one of the 3 colors, it will give you a stronger throw or allow you to hit with the baseball bat. The damn bar is used in almost all of the sports games, but changes the meaning of the colors from game to game. Green might be good to hit the ball, but red might be better to pitch. It's just stupid and it sucks. Basketball. Same idea. Power bar to the right. But the sound effects are so horrible that it sounds like a
NBA
small nuclear explosion every time you score. Once you figure out how to score, you basically can never lose. Boxing. Not even a fraction of what the Wii Sports variation is like. Clunky, slow, and completely inaccurate. The game is also home to some of the most uninterested voice actors ever. Bowling. Just like boxing, not even close to what Wii Sports offers. Oh, and hello again, Power Bar. I see you're here to haunt me once more. While the Wii Remote can sense when you're shifting the controller slightly to give you a little bit of a spin on your bowling ball, the Wireless 60 has no way to do that, so it's crap.
Wow.
Fishing.
Fishing?
No. Darts. Hard to lose this one.
I like
they built in some kind of timer that automatically shifts your crosshair
after
off.
I hate that
into
shit.
some random direction. Completely pointless.
Yeah,
because you
don't
can just
do that
slide
shit.
it back into place effortlessly. Tennis.
Tennis.
Once again, nothing like
Not
Wii
really
Sports.
a tennis player.
There is no way for the console to know the power of a hit. The controller is just not that sophisticated. In fact, the only way they could make this worse is by, I don't know, cloning the game to pad out the number of total sports games they've built into the console. But they wouldn't have done... Oh.
No.
Ping pong?
Ping pong.
It's the same f***ing game, but they put a table in front of you.
Yeah,
for
that's...
sakes. Golf.
Golf.
Isometric perspective golf. Not even in my nightmares would I willingly play this game again.
Fucking
Pool.
golf.
Fantastabad.
Pool.
That's
like
a new
pool.
word I just made up to describe this game. It just doesn't work at all.
Yeah, it's not.
It's nearly impossible to aim. The pool table in Duke Nukem 3D is 1,000 times better.
Duke
and that
Nukem
damn thing wasn't even
3D.
the focus of that level.
Oh, fucking
Dancing. Off.
Dancing.
SeaWorld.
SeaWorld?
Yup. That's a sports game apparently.
What?
Chucking food at wildlife in the water. Our friend the
SeaWorld?
Power Bar makes a return again, just f with me once more. I can't even understand why they thought this was a sport. I mean, God, who's keeping the score? The magic green octopus who randomly shows up for no reason?
The 48 arcade games. Okay, maybe that'll be a good game.
A funny little
Let's
thing
see.
that I actually noticed was on the back of the box. It's got to be one of the greatest warnings ever for buying a system.
What's it
It says
say?
it right on the back, right here.
May contain
Dear
fire.
valued customer, please note, if you're looking to purchase or own an Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo Wii, or equivalent, this product does not compare or compete with these technologies.
Damn.
Wireless 60 is a family entertainment console great for ages 5 and up.
Wow.
Well, at least they're honest about it.
Yeah, at least they're honest.
But honesty isn't going to save them from having to put me through playing these next 48 games. First up is Auto X, a racing game where you race on the world's longest and narrowest beach while a pirate ship sails around you. You can't tell in the video, but due to the design of the game, you don't actually have to turn on corners of the track. Nope, it sort of just does it for you, as if the game isn't aware that the track had turns at all.
Auto-scrolling, yeah.
All you really do here is just avoid obstacles.
Yeah, that's...
Very, very boring.
Very boring. Don't do
Deep
that.
Storm, a Space Harrier-like game. It has you firing at oncoming enemies, but unlike Space Harrier, your bullets are the size of tiny
Floating
little
skulls.
peas, and coupled with horrible hit detection, this game is a struggle to play.
Yeah, this gives this game a
Okay,
skip.
and for this next one, let's play the music for this game first. Okay, what game do you think that is?
Balloon Fight.
Balloon
Is
Fight.
it Balloon Fight? I think it's Balloon Fight.
You're correct.
Yay.
But in the Wireless 60 world, you're wrong.
Oh.
Dream Bubble. Using the
Bubble.
music from Balloon Fight, the sounds of Bust-A-Move, and ripping off the entire game design of Tetris, this is hands down the worst implementation of Tetris ever made. Why, you might ask? Well, the controls are terrible. You will find yourself in situations where you could have easily cleared a row in regular Tetris, but due to the controls' poor response on this console, you will lose. Firefighter. It's like Breakout. In fact, it is Breakout, but with a firefighter bouncing on a trampoline. The concept isn't bad, but its execution is just wrong. It's hard to control, and it gets super repetitive after a while.
Fuck it, why not add Ghostbusters to the list?
Look, everyone, it's Link from The Legend of Zelda in a Snow Brothers ripoff. Terrible controls, terrible hit detection, and it gets super boring after the second stage. Jewel Fever 2. That's right, kids, you don't get Jewel Fever 1 in this collection, they jump straight to the sequel. And what is it like? Sorta Bust-A-Move-ish with a pirate that looks like he might be Mario with an eye patch on. Yep, Mr. Onion. One of the few games with the title screen. Apparently in this game, Pac-Man with a comb-over has to save a cross-dressing Kirby from the clutches of snails and evil eggs. While the game is one of the more playable from the set, it quickly becomes unfair with enemies that respawn seconds after you take them out. The Lost World. It's Frogger. Really, it is. Miniaturized Bill Reiser from Contra runs up the stage avoiding obstacles while he reaches everyone's favorite Frogger stage. This game is easily the most repetitive of the lot. You have to complete each level 5 times before advancing to the next stage.
Fuck that.
Nothing changes each time you complete a level either. It just makes you do it again and again until you have every character in each gate.
Yeah, that's not
boring. Totally Jet.
Totally Jet.
Remember
reminds
when
me
we
of
were
Race
talking
Race.
about Auto X
Race
earlier
Race.
on? Yeah, this is the same game with worse controls and different textures. Brilliant. Pop Ball.
Pop Ball.
Hey, look everyone, it's Ness from Earthbound. Wow. I guess I need to apologize to Nintendo. They didn't forget about you at all. They just licensed you off to be in some terrible game where you pop balls. And that's it, folks. You just pop balls. All day long.
Jesus.
Go-Kart.
Go-Kart.
Poor man's RC Pro-Am. 3 tracks, but terrible controls. And no other racers. Super boring. Sudoku. You know, that number puzzle game everyone liked? Yeah, it's on here.
I hate Sudoku.
Lightning Plan.
Lightning Plan.
Ah, Lightning Plan. This title gave me hope, because for a few brief minutes, this felt like a decent shoot-'em-up. But once you get to the desert area, the flaws of overly armored enemies become too much to bear. It takes way too long to shoot down some of these larger enemies, and they don't really serve any good attacks. It just has no flow, no feel of consistency. Plus, I'm pretty certain that this is just a ripoff of a game that already exists and has probably done it better. So, there. Find pairs. Like the title says, you find pairs of things. It's like that matchup card game from Super Mario Bros. 3, only never-ending and with colors and shapes that don't really stand out in any interesting way. Rapid Stream. I'll let the footage speak for itself.
What the fuck?
Finger dancing. It's like DDR, but a set of levels where you jump from platform to platform, inputting directions and button presses. It's not really bad. Kind of interesting, actually. In fact, I think this is one of the better games.
It looks pretty... Oh, fuck, no.
Joy, it crashed.
No, I was enjoying that as well.
Slot machines.
Slot machine.
Take yourself out of the grimy pits of a government-run casino and hop on into a mindlessly boring variation of a slot machine.
Reminds me of the Super Mario Sunshine
As a side
slot
note,
machines.
Did you know that there's a Back to the Future video slot machine where Christopher Lloyd reprises his role as Doc Brown?
Nope.
Seriously, it's a real thing. I always wanted to play that. I imagine it's way better than this. Also, let's get this next batch out of the way all at once. Texas Hold'em, Blackjack, Video Poker, Caribbean Stud, and Free Craps.
Fucking love
They're
Blackjack.
all casino games.
No, 21.
And they're all pretty much done the exact same way. I suppose the best thing you could say about these games is that they're all competent. They work, but their interfaces are messy. Jewel Master 2, or as we in the gaming world would like to call it, Columns. It works well, I guess, but as pretty much all the other games I've talked about so far, the controls work against you. Motor Rally 2.
Motor Rally.
Hey, remember that Totally Jet game that was just a clone of
Oh,
ROX?
fucking hell, that's
It's here
Caesar
again.
inducing.
That makes
Jesus.
3 games that play almost exactly the same with variations on textures.
Ugh.
Why did they even bother? Speedrunner.
Speedrunner.
Imagine the worst
fucking-
controls ever in a top-down
No.
perspective racer that is similar to Micro Machines.
It's
That
like
is
GTA,
exactly
the
what this
first
would
game
be.
for the PlayStation
Also,
1.
spoiler, you'll never beat your opponent in this because he's way too fast and drives with
Those who
absolute
remember
perfection
GTA
every
for the
single
PlayStation
time.
1, the first original
Dragon.
GTA.
It's a platforming game where you sort of jump from one base to another. Your attack doubles as a platform you can jump on briefly before it flies away. Not bad, but plagued by repetition and provides no real challenge. Treasure
Must
hunt.
be Wizard of Oz.
Collect treasure.
Hunt.
Walk around a stage. Done. Ice Climber.
Ice Climber.
Well, this is awkward. It's almost a
Climber?
near-perfect clone of Nintendo's original NES game with the very same title. Only it's way more difficult to play, and functionally challenged in its design. Jumping to the next platform will make you scream bloody murder every single time. Not worth it.
God.
Not worth it at all.
Yeah, next game.
Cooking Chaos.
Cooking Chaos.
Look, I don't know, you're a cat-dog combo catching cherries with a cupcake that are being tossed down by 2 bluebirds in a hammock. I can't even...
Yeah,
I
it must be
just
of the
don't
game
know.
that where you collect
Starry Night.
alphabets or not
I always thought
letters.
Flounder from The Little Mermaid deserved his own game.
Wow.
You got it, and it's
Damn.
terrible. You only push one button, that's it, and it makes you swim
Hey, I think
higher.
I've played this game
You
before,
just
actually.
avoid objects for
I'm
eternity.
pretty sure I've played something
Forever
similar
and
to
ever.
this.
Potion Commotion.
Potion Commotion.
This is just a seriously bad Breakout clone with a seahorse instead of a ball. Loco Coconuts.
Loco
Huey, Dewey, and
Coconuts.
Louie are tigers now for some
these
reason.
fucking
and
wonderful
they're playing a
names of the
game of throw
games.
the coconut in a barrel with a kangaroo in a crate that is floating in the air with a balloon.
Fuck it,
Whatever.
just go with it.
It's that basketball game from earlier, but sideways. Surf Adventure.
Surf
I
Adventure.
can't even
okay.
begin to understand what the point of this game
What
was,
the
but the
fuck is
pirate from
this?
Jewel Fever 2 is taller and rides by you every so often.
What the
So, that's a thing. Egg
Yeah,
Collector.
egg
Collect
collector.
eggs. Do it before they hit the ground. Done. Boring. Find the Way.
Find the way.
It's a dog running through a stage with a baby on its back, and if the baby falls off, it grows wings and the dog has to catch it again. Terrible. Terrible game.
For some reason, Golden Axe comes to mind. Just don't know why.
Smile?
Ghost.
What?
Ghost Smile.
It's like
Ghost Smile.
Pac-Man, but you're a centipede or a worm or a
What the-
snake or something that
They were on
exists.
drugs.
It's just impossible to play with such unresponsive controls.
With Caterpillar
I
from
don't even,
Super
I
Mario.
don't understand.
Sunshine. or something
Magic
like
Jelly sucks.
that. Magic
This game
Jelly.
just sucks. I hate it. It's a poor-ass excuse for a game. It takes practically forever to clear the first stage from poor design and functionality, and your character never stops hopping, ever. They just jump off the edge of the map if you don't stop them.
Let him. Fucking let him jump
Pinball
off.
Fish.
Kill him. It's
It's
fine. Pinball
another
Fish.
Breakout clone.
Uh,
Dear God. Bomb Jump. Another Breakout clone. Another one. Again.
unnecessary.
Zippy Frogger.
Zippy Frogger.
Nothing to do with Frogger. Amazing. But what kind of game is it? I have no idea. You eat bugs or something. It's terrible. Next.
Next.
Crazy Addition.
A
Do you
Crazy
even
Addition.
expect me to be able to
Says
use my
Sudoku.
brain at this point after Magic Jelly?
Yeah, Magic Jelly, yeah.
No.
Your
No,
brain
no,
must
no,
be
no, no.
liquefied.
Bad interface. I don't even care. It's a bad game. Next.
Yeah, next.
Defense Mission.
Defense
it's,
Mission.
It's a game where you attack people on a stage until enemies stop spawning. It's just a waste of time after you kill the first 5 enemies.
It's like
And
a
it just
Akari
repeats
Warriors,
until you
I
clear the
guess.
stage for a new one that only slightly looks
Rambo
different.
Commando.
Bomb Hero.
Bomb Hero.
It's
Bomberjack?
Bomberman.
Yeah, Bomberman.
And they didn't even
Not
change the
Bomberjack.
music. In fact, most of the enemies I'm pretty sure are the same. I actually like Bomberman. This is a pretty decent clone, but it never changes. You play the same stage forever. It's just lazy. Ballroom Bonanza.
Ballroom Bonanza.
Wonderful. It's one of those popular gem matching puzzle games that are so unique.
It's
and
something you
have
would
never
play
been done
online,
before.
like a girly game or something
God,
like
is
that.
that Lucifer, the cat from Cinderella?
Yeah.
Why did they... Never mind.
I don't know, it looks a
Next.
bit like...
Milk Mania.
Milk Mania.
You collect milk. Next. Puzzle Pop. I'm sure I have played this before at some point, but I don't even care anymore. It's super boring and completely repetitive.
Oh, fucking hell.
Pearls. It's that flounder game again. Next. Hide and Seek.
Hide and Seek.
Yeah, it's just the old cup and ball game. Bravo! You changed the cup and ball game with a haystack and put a sheep in it. You reinvented the genre.
Like the Simpsons game when it moves around, you gotta pick the right
I'm gonna give you this one. Just one. Here you go. This game right here, this one's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It might be boring, but after you finish enough levels, it actually finishes. It doesn't even continue on forever. You know what? Fine. This is a good game. You did one good game out of 60. One good game.
Well, at least they did one.
That's it. All 60 games, all of them in this tiny little box. That's all this thing has to offer, and not a single thing more.
How much does it cost?
I'm no stranger to bad games. I mean...
Oh,
but
God.
I am pretty confident that this is the worst console I've ever played, and it has some of the worst games I've ever played. So, yeah, don't buy it. If you ever see it in a store, avoid it. And if you see some mom or dad picking it up, and they've got like a young kid with them, tell them that this is a bad console. Don't hide it. Just inform them. Be a good consumer. Teach other people to never play this console, because holy shit, is it bad.
Oh boy. I'm enjoying the music. I'm just gonna let it play for a while. I was enjoying the music. Okay, so that's the end of the video. Yeah, that was a really stupid console. I mean, I wonder how much it would cost for that. Was it like $100, $200? I mean, I want to know how much that console costs. But yeah, at least one good game was sort of good on that. Most of them looked alright. Most of them looked acceptable. You know, the graphics, meh, and some of them looked okay. But some of them were just copy and paste jobs, and that's when I was like, no, fuck that. How many gem games and puzzle games are there? But some of them looked respectable. Well, playing them and looking at them are two different things. I'm sure the controls were awful, the layout, the interface was terrible. But something like the artwork was acceptable as a beginner game designer, so to speak, if you're like a beginner. You know, I mean, I've seen those games look more better than some of the Steam indie games I've seen on Steam. You know, some of the Steam indie games are absolutely god fucking awful. They're worse than what you saw here. So comparing Steam indie games, those really terrible bad Steam indie games compared to these sort of games, these games are a blessing. But yeah, I mean, that was totally awesome to see some more Rerez, so to speak. Or was it Rerez or Rerez? Who knows? But yeah, if you like this video, make sure to give a like, comment down below, make sure to subscribe to my channel if you're enjoying my content. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.